Hey Clashers, I made a couple of adjustments to the #1 strategy right now in the entire game to improve the power even more. Because we're going to play now the Archer Queen into the core behind the Root Riders to really empower the action figure even more. For that, we have to do a couple of switches, but I will show you exactly how this changed army looks like and how you can play it as well, because it is just crazy. Let's dive into the attacks. And the first and biggest changes for this army are actually the equipment choices for the Minion Prince and for the Archer Queen. No giant arrow anymore, which means you might think that you're going to struggle versus Invis Tower bases, which is actually perfect that we just face one of those. But this is why I bring one more Invis, because this more Invis with the skeleton, we can just easily trigger any Invis Tower out there. And with the Royal Champion, we're just going to create now pathing and funneling. So with that, let's just go in over here. And we can just protect her with the invisibility spells right now. One of them. And then we can use the ability right now. So she gets further in there. Takes down the first life, like hit points, whatever, of that. The Ice Golem is there as well. It's going to pop, but that's fine. She's mostly taking down troops right now. But to be honest, on those Invis Tower bases, you don't really need much more. So that's completely fine in the end. Let's just let her have some fun. She's going to turn invisible again. The Valkyrie is going to come back only one more time, which is just perfect for us. Let's turn this invisible again. Oh, Fox, please. Okay, the Fox is going to die, which is really unfortunate. I would have liked to have the Fox alive, but it is what it is. That's completely fine still. Now let's recall right now. Perfect. Next thing now, we can just enter into the Invis Tower. Obviously, because I'm a little bit stupid, I used the oh no, the Invis to trigger that. Let's just use it like this with the freeze then, I guess. Let's see if that works. Come on. And it froze the... I'm just... Sometimes I'm a little bit really stupid, but hey, we have the Minion Prince, so we just use that for activation purposes. Nice. And then we can have the Root Riders into the Invis Tower compartment. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I'm really not the smartest cookie, but that's okay. Because we're using such a broken strategy that anything will work. So... let's re-enter with the Royal Champion so she can take down everything like splash related. The Minion Prince in this one did not do the craziest funneling, but it did the job it was needed to do, like it had to do. We have as well the Super Barbarians to clear everything, but I mean, this base is already at this point done. Let's use this, the Rage. We can use the Warden ability in the core, and let's just spawn some Queens. So we have so much damage right now in the core, and we have as well the tank. The tank and the giant is good for multiple reasons. First off, obvious choice is like you have a lot of hit points in the core. But what makes this thing so much better than pretty much anything else is the fact that this thing is going to attack defending heroes, troops, everything as well. Which means you not just have a really strong troop on the back end, but as well you have just a troop which is not just tanking but as well dealing damage. And that is really what makes this thing so scary. Oh, by the way, we even have the Cane on the back end. So even though I was a bit stupid here with using the last Invis for the Royal Champion charge, you should not do that, by the way. We swagged so many spells because I was just like goofing around and like trying to explain stuff while doing things completely wrong. We swagged so many spells here with the freeze and with the skeleton spell, and still overkilled the base. So it is just crazy how good this is and how flexible you are with switching the queen into the core away from the outside. Another bonus what this has is, if you might have noticed, there is no super wall breaker in this army composition, which means you can just add another Valkyrie, for example. You can as well replace the super barbarians, by the way, with even more Valkyries if you don't want to use any super troops. But the super wall breaker, you don't have to wall break the Minion Prince into the base, which makes it super simple. But let's do more attacks so I can showcase a bit better what exactly is it that this approach is just completely busted. Hey, we have another time Invis Tower bases, which they're just super popular, okay? So for this one, again, this time, save one Invis to make your life way easier, okay? On this one, we are going to have the Royal Champion funneling the bottom side, I believe. So then we have the funneling of the top side. Another thing is, for example, in the beginning, it would have been a pain to get this Expo out, or at the bottom side to get anything here. I think actually I would switch things. So we have the Royal Champion at the top side. It would be really painful to take down those bottom compartments, like bottom buildings. You can actually just use the Pack a little bit as a tank and do down a cane charge. But it would be really painful to get those buildings out at the bottom side. But now with the change of having the Minion Prince there, this is like no problem whatsoever. Just turn this invisible again. As soon as we have the bomb tower, the pathing is created so we can just recall. Can I recall this guy as well? I did not recall the fox, but now we have a cane in our army. That is pretty good. Okay, now, as I just said, let's just funnel the bottom side with the siege barracks as well. We can add some super bombs if we feel like we have to. And now, this thing is just going to funnel all of that. Next thing, right here. Use this, so we can trigger the invis. And then we're just going to go right into that invis as it would be nothing. The dragon is taken care of. Now like this. Everything as usual at this point, kinda. And we're as well adding the cane. So, I mean, it's so cool. That's really, really nice. So, like this. As well, the sweeper is gone. Everything is gone at this point. The pathing to the core is perfect. We can have like a skeleton spell here for distraction. We go into the core like it's nothing. Really nice. We even have the Royal Champ ability, by the way, at this point. Just use this. Queen ability. Warren ability right now. As everything is splitting. But, I mean, it's like... I don't know how to describe it, but it feels so broken with this core giant. It is crazy. It is really, really crazy. I don't know. And it's a lot of fun as well. I just love the fact that this giant is doing everything. Tanking, dealing damage. Like, there's nothing which it does not do. And then having the Root Riders opening up the compartments for your Archer Queen as well. It is really, really fun and really, really crazy. So I can only recommend to you trying this. Because I think it is the best approach. As well, I know that some other players are always taking a bit of time to really react to the best meta and everything. It was the same thing when like the Royal Champion charges came up and like, a lot of people were using it with the dragons and everything. And by now, everyone in the high legends is pretty much using it, or most people are using it with the Root Riders and as well with the Minion Prince because it's just such a good combination. But this one, with switching the Minion Prince to the outside and the Queen to the inside, it's just so stupid. It is just crazy. But hey, let's just do another attack and have some more fun. Well, seems like a lot of Invis Tower bases today, but that's kind of showcasing perfectly why you don't need the giant arrow, even with the Root Riders. So, for this one, again, we're just trying to get the pathing right. And I think the best way of doing so is, let's see, we could, since we have 2 skeletons with this one, we could invest 2 as well Invis spells. So let's just do it super quick and super simple, which means Royal Champ right here, invest some of those Invis right there. Now the ability, we're just going for the quick funnel on this side. She should turn invisible again in just a second. Obviously the timing with our ability was really, really unfortunate, but hey. Now let's recall right now. Okay, she survived, everything is fine. Now let's add a Super Baron here. Now let's funnel, obviously one like this. This siege barracks funnel is getting set up. Now we're having the Root Riders going in here like this. Let's deploy everything quickly, so we can now use this and this. Royal Champ, maybe it was now this and this. So far so good. Now the Queen ability, now the Rage. Warren ability right now. I think that was the perfect time because we're covering everything. And this looks so good. We can just now overpower the entire base because all of the Invis towers are gone, right? Like, they're not doing anything anymore. Let's just rage up here again. We can freeze this part of the base. It's like whatever. I mean, it is just kind of stupid. Not gonna lie. It is stupid but fun as well. At least for the attacker, I assume. Can now use Invis for the Queen. So she's making sure that she's getting the Town Hall. If we even have to use the Invis here. The Giant is just like, I don't know, defeating some heroes in the 1 versus 1 and boxing them in there. Okay, let's not talk about this. But hey, they're just beating them up. And we have the Queen getting the town. I mean, it's just unfair. It's just so unfair. We have 9 Super Barbarians still left alive. Let's just use them. Because I don't care about swagging. It's crazy. It's crazy. I can only recommend to you using it. And already said, I mean, I'm really speechless. It is really, really crazy how much power you have with the Minion Prince on the outside, funneling everything. You don't need wall break. You don't need support with anything over there. Okay, the only thing you kind of need is like 1 Tesla maybe if there's an outside Black Man. That's kind of nice. But otherwise, the Minion Prince on its own is funneling the entire flank of this army composition. And since Root Riders only go for defenses, the pathing is just so much better than with the Archer Queen, because the Archer Queen is always stuck on storages, things like that, skeleton traps and everything. But no one is defending against that, and I wouldn't even know how to defend that properly. So I think people will catch up quickly. People will use this over the next time, and make sure that you're ahead of the curve. If you want to always be ahead of the curve, make sure that you're following the channel, and we'll see you guys with the next video. Until then, see ya, and bye-bye.